Hi, in this video, let's talk about Python statements. Every Python program has modules. In turn, modules have statements, and statements have some expressions. The type of statements are assignment, function call, conditional like if else, a loop like for while, and others like return, import, continue, many. So let's start with assignments. A simple assignment statement could be where you're assigning a number of values, say 78, and the next is the positional assignment, where I can give value to say rows and leave as red and green. Using this positional assignment, I can swap the values very easily in Python. So I just have to. Now the next one is the list assignment. So I have a list of variables and a list of values and I assign them. So Tuesday has got the value of 2. Similarly, if I have a long list, then I use the range function. So here it might look like it's a small list, but in case I have a very long list and I want to assign, even that is possible. Next, I have the sequence unpacking. Here I have first, second, third and bat. So bat is assigned to each one of these variables, first, second and third. Next is the multiple assignment. See, I have variables where all of them have to be initialized or all of them have to be having the same value. Then I give them like this. Next, I have the augmented assignment. This is just a short form where instead of saying score is equal to score plus 50, I could just say score plus is equal to 50. Next kind of statements are called function calls. So let's first define a function. So if we define a function, it's called a user-defined function. So it starts with the keyword def and then your function name and then simple brackets. And then this function, I'm just going to print, say print function called. And then I go ahead and call the function by using the function name. So here it is, the func with a simple bracket. So this is a function call statement. Next are conditional statements. So we use the if structure for this. So if I have a block of statements that have to be executed only if a condition is met, I would put it under the if condition. So this is how the if structure looks. So if condition and the statements. Here the important thing to note is the indentation. So after if condition, you have an indent and those statements that are in that indent will be considered as a block which will be executed if the condition meets. And I can add an else to it where these statements will be executed if the condition is not met. If I have multiple conditions, then I could use the if, elif, else. So if the condition is met, the first block is executed. Then other condition that I want to mention, I put it in elif. The statements which have to be executed if the above conditions are not met, then they are put in the else statement. So let's see some examples of if structure now. Say I have a condition, a very simple one, 1 is less than 2. So this is true. So the statement print, this is what we have learned, will get executed. Okay. So now coming to the other one, if else structure, let's see, simple example. If 2 is less than 1, you know that it's a false statement. So what will happen? The else part gets executed, right? So you see it, prints the part in the else. So let's see a example for elif. Say I've taken a number. I'm checking it if it is less than 5. Okay, if that is true, then it will print it is less than 5. Now say I have another condition, is it greater than 5? Then it should execute the part saying it is greater than 5. Otherwise, it should just say 5. Okay, so this is an example for the elif structure. So let's just put a value for the number as say 4. So 4 is less than 5. So that part should get executed. See? So now say we take a number greater than 5, say 7. And now only that part, the elif part, gets executed where it said it is greater than 5. Next comes the loop statements. We have a while and a for to execute a set of statements in a loop or continuously till a condition changes. So the format is while a condition is true, execute these statements. So once the condition is false, the statements will stop being executed in a loop and the loop exits. Similarly, we have for. The difference here is for takes every item from a sequence that you have, executes statements, and exits once all the sequence items are completed. We have to note in a while condition, unless the condition turns false, it will keep executing. So if your condition does not change, it will be an infinite loop. So we have to pay caution to it. Let's see examples for the while and for loop now. So say I have a count and I initialize it to 1. Then I put while count is less than 6. I want to print what the count is. Note, I'm changing the count as count plus 1. If I didn't do this, then the count will remain as 1 and the while loop will run into an infinite loop. Next, let's see the same thing in a for loop. So say for count in range 1 to 7. So it takes the sequence from 1 to 7 and he keeps printing. Okay, so this is how a for loop would go. Now let's see some keywords and what role they play in the loops. These are break, continue, and pass. So let's see the same example where I have a count initialized to 0. I'm incrementing the count. Until count is 6, I keep looping. Now for the special condition of 3, I say once you hit 3, just break out of the loop. Okay, so that would be done with the use of a keyword break. So let's execute. See, after it printing 1 and 2, it has exited the loop because of the break keyword. Fine, so let's see how we do the same thing in a for loop. So the same again, for count in range. If count is 3, just break. Let's execute it. Yeah, the same thing happened. Once the count has happened 3, it breaks and it did not continue the loop. So let's see the other keyword. Now, say when the count is 3, I want to do something special in the case of 3, and then the other part of the loop should continue as is. So in that case, I would use pass. Here, he comes to 3. He doesn't do anything. It's a specific case for 3. And then he continues the rest of the loop as is. Okay. So if I have another same in for loop, the same thing I'm doing in the for loop. If 3 is hit, then I don't want to do anything. I pass. So don't do it and continue. Let's see the next keyword. So let's take the same example of the while loop. I have again my special case of 3. Here, I want to continue without doing anything in the case of 3. So I say continue as a keyword and I execute the loop. So what happens is when the 3 is hit, he does not execute the sequence and then he continues with the loop. So he skipped the condition of 3. So let's see the same thing for a for loop. If count is 3, I say just continue. So he does not print, I am counting, right? So he skipped that case and he looped again. Let's look at the break pass continue in a general way with this representation. So when you have a loop and you have an if condition followed by a break, the loop is exited as soon as the break has been encountered. And for a pass, you have a loop and an if condition and you put a pass statement. The following statements after the pass keyword are also executed. So usually the pass keyword is used in scenarios when the code yet has not been decided what is to be written under the if condition. So in those times, we would use the pass keyword. And in the next one, the continue keyword, the loop happens, and when the condition is met and the continue keyword is hit, the statements following the continue keyword, which are a part of the loop, will not be executed. It will go to the next iteration of the loop. This was a brief description about the statements in Python. Please check the description box for the notebook attached with this video. Thank you.